everyone, Andrew here, bringing you another video review, and today we're going to be doing a double review. Very rarely do I double review, but I will do it today. And that will be of Batman and the Outsiders, the chrysalis, or chrysalis, or I don't know how to pronounce that, but let's just roll with it. And Batman and the Outsiders, the Snare. Take a look at these comic covers right here. Now, like I said, I very rarely do double reviews. I like to focus all my attention, time, and effort on one trade and give you the best review I can of that trade. But I'm going to have to do a double review for these trades right here. See, the reason why is because, well, you have to look at the Outsiders as a team. And this is the only two trades for a certain incarnation of the Outsiders. Now, if I lost you, I'll explain it. See, there's been roughly 4 incarnations of the Outsiders team. Well, major incarnations. There was the original Outsiders team, which was Batman and the Outsiders, the original team. Then there was Judd Winnick's Outsiders, which was Nightwing, Arsenal, Indigo, Shift, Grace, and all that sort. Then there is the new Batman and the Outsiders team. And then there's the current Outsiders team. Now, this new Batman and the Outsiders team only lasts for 2 trades. Yeah, kind of sad. So, seeing that they only last for 2 trades, I'm going to actually review both trades together. There's another reason for that, but I won't get into that until the end of the review. So, let's start things off. The chrysalis. Now, like I said, I don't know how to pronounce this. I asked my girlfriend, who is a English major and can pronounce any kind of word you throw at her, and she even kind of raised the people's eyebrow to this. I even asked my mother, and she raised a corporate eyebrow to this. So, double eyebrows. Only wrestling fans would understand that. But the chrysalis starts off exactly where we left off with 5 of a kind. Batman has this new Outsider team that consists of the Martian Manhunter, Catwoman, Grace, Katana, and Metamorpho. Thunder's also there, but she's more or less in the background. She really doesn't do anything. And it starts off with Catwoman and Katana infiltrating this base, and they go into this base, and basically an OMAC attacks them. Martian Manhunter comes in, beats the shit out of the OMAC, and they grab the OMAC and bring it back to Batman, who apparently is working with Langstrom's wife also. So let's just say she's part of the Outsiders team. From that point, Martian Manhunter leaves the team, saying that he's done his favor to Bruce, and Catwoman says she doesn't want any part of this team. She's not into for superhero-ness, she's in for it for the thrill, and seeing that they're doing superhero stuff, they don't want any part of it. The Justice League comes in, basically spokesperson by Hawkgirl, saying that Batman is doing shady stuff, and then proceeds to argue with him about having the OMAC. Batman kicks the shit out of Hawkgirl and somehow recruits Geoforce. Yes, Geoforce gets transferred from the Justice League to the Outsiders, which honestly was probably a good move to do. They then find out that there's this big evil mastermind using OMAC technology for his own benefit, and he's also creating a space station. Okay, so Batman and the Outsiders need to go in, infiltrate, take down this bad guy, and stop these OMACs from going all around and basically another OMAC project from happening. Along the way, they're joined by the likes of Batgirl and Green Arrow. That's the story. So, let's get into the good, the bad, and whether or not you should get it. For both of them. Good. Well, the good thing I like about this is what I call the perfect format for a Outsiders team. You're probably asking, what do you mean by that? Well, I think for the Outsider, as a comic and for a team, is that it should be a team with Batman as kind of a headquarters kind of guy, a person that stays in the back and tells the team what to do. Equivalent to Professor Xavier with the X-Men. Is that a good analogy? Batman should rarely go into action. He should stay in the back and tell the team what to do. This gives us a chance to have Batman on the team, be in charge of the team, while at the same time have the team have their own kind of group and their own kind of system going on, getting into combat. Right. I also liked the team, at least in the beginning. I mean, Catwoman, Martian Manhunter, Grace, Katana, Metamorpho, Geoforce comes in, Batgirl, Green Arrow. Seems like a pretty diesel team. But the team fluctuates in and out. But for the most part, the team's pretty good. It's a bunch of random characters that don't necessarily fit in the DC universe that much. Maybe with the exception of Green Arrow, because he goes on all the teams. But, I mean, even Martian Manhunter is kind of an outcast. The art is very nice. I do like the art in this. It is, I don't know how to explain, but it's kind of artsy. It reminds me of Skyward Sword's art for some reason. But the art is nice in this. The characterization is great. We have Chuck Dixon on this, and he does a great job characterizing these people. Automatically, he knows how to write Batman, as Batman should be written. A tragic hero, the Dark Knight, the Dark Detective. But he also takes a good job at handling the other characters, which is surprising because he's never wrote characters like Grace, or Katana, or the Martian Manhunter, at least not to my knowledge. I could be wrong about that. Bad. Well, the first bad is that this story just ends. Just ends! The reason for this is because Grant Morrison started his RIP run. And RIP basically was kind of the foreshadowing of the end of Batman titles as we knew them and the start of new titles. So that means the Batman and the Outsiders title wasn't going to last because the Batman wasn't going to be around. In addition to that, other titles kind of went down. Robin, Nightwing, Birds of Prey, Catwoman, all of them kind of disappeared. And the characters go to different points. You know, now we have Red Robin instead of Robin, the new Batman Robin instead of Nightwing, Gotham Sirens instead of Catwoman, new Birds of Prey, and so on and so forth. I don't want to go in too much into the Batman Reborn, but basically what happens is because of RIP and because of Batman basically disappearing after RIP and Final Crisis, the team couldn't exist the way it does. In addition to that, there's a few issues that aren't collected into this. This ends on kind of a cliffhanger, and you just don't know what happens after the cliffhanger. You can go online and read what happens, and I don't want to spoil what it is. Just go on either the DC database or Wikipedia, and they can tell you what happens. And it explains exactly what transpires between these two graphic novels and the next graphic novel, which is the D. So it kind of just ends, which is kind of bullshit. In addition to that, it annoys me how in Five of a Kind, Batman goes out of his way to recruit the likes of Catwoman and Martian Manhunter. They only stay around for like an issue, and they kind of just bugger out for no reason. Martian Manhunter joins the team, and he kind of just says, "Oh, I'm leaving because my favor is done to you." What favor? Wait, you wanted to be on this team. Catwoman's I can see is kind of believable, but it's still like, why did you give us these characters if you're just going to get rid of them? Exactly. So that's another bad. Whether or not you should get these. Well, I'm going to be honest with you guys, completely honest. For some reason, I love these. Maybe it's Chuck Dixon writing them, maybe it's the art, maybe it's just the format of the Outsiders team that I love. I do love these stories. But to say that you need to pick these up would be a complete lie. To be honest, you can skip these Outsiders stories outright. You can just absolutely stick them. You can stop from Five of a Kind, or even the stuff beforehand with Judd Winnick, and jump right into the Deeds in the and the rest of the new Outsider material, and completely skip it. This is not necessary. You do not have to pick them up. So, it hates me to say this, but the chrysalis and the snare, you can just skip them. They're really not necessary. I had fun reading them, but in the end, they're not necessary, and they're not overwhelmingly great. I guess it's just my love for whatever, the Outside team, maybe it's my love for Batman, or for Chuck Dixon, but in reality, don't bother getting them. This is Andrew saying, peace out for now.